Hey. So first, a big thanks to Rand for inviting me to speak. I really appreciate it. And thank you to Erica. You have put up with much stuff, honey. So when I was asked to speak here, I got sick, like passed out in the post office lobby sick. But the good news for you guys is, as of yesterday, I'm no longer contagious. So just kidding, seriously, no evacuation. So I'm gonna talk, as Cyrus said, about Wordless Wednesdays, which is, for those of you who don't know, I'll kind of get into it in my presentation, but I'm gonna talk a little bit about some of the memes that we're seeing, the visual memes, and then I'm gonna get into some tactics. So I have two inspirations for this presentation, really. I'm gonna talk about the first one, and obviously I'll talk about the second one. So I'm not an SEO pro, I don't play one on TV, I don't pretend to be an SEO person, but one of the things that I have noticed is that when I work with clients, the work that we've done that has been really heavy-handed with images has been very, very effective for their SEO rankings, and then also for traffic as well, right? So I'm like, hey, there's something here, right? So I don't pretend to be any SEO person, but I'm gonna share with you what I've learned from the social side of the fence. Normally, I speak all around the world, and normally my audience is women. And for those of us out there, don't you love it when they make us look like that? Because God knows I look like that, right? You know, pink with a briefcase, going to work. But that's my usual audience. And so what happens invariably is somebody will nab me after I get off stage and they'll ask me a question about SEO. And I'm like, well, I can tell you what I know. I know just enough to be dangerous, but I don't know much, but I can try to help you. And so what they'll say then is, well, I can't do one more thing, and this person says that I need to be doing SEO, and then we end up in this long, drawn-out conversation about whether they should be using alt text and image tags and blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And so what I wanted to do today is kind of try to put the pieces together. So this is a true story. Before I get into putting the pieces together, true story. We brought on a new client back in March, I believe she came on board, and we met with her web team, and one of the people on her web team is an SEO person. And so we're sitting there and we're having this conversation during this whole onboarding period, and the SEO person says, I said, well, you know, we're gonna be doing some really cool quote images and some infographics and da-da-da-da, and I lied to you not. The SEO person sat there like flat-faced and looked at me and said, we don't do images. And I was like, what? I mean, what do you mean we don't do images? That to me was like bizarre. And it was like literally, we don't do images. The reason I found that amazing, because as a social person, one of the things, so let's take a look at Instagram, right? So you got 90 million active monthly users. That's crazy town. 8,500 likes a second for pictures that are going live on Instagram, people are uploading. And you got 40 million photos uploaded daily. How can you not do images? Like the New Yorker in me is like, what the hell is going on here? You know? I mean, like, how do you not do images? And God knows, you know, if I don't have like 40 million pictures of Biebs, makes my day. The other piece about images is, so we got 90% of people over 18, they own smartphones. 40% of people are sharing, of Twitter users are sharing photos. And then on Facebook, photo updates get 53% more likes than just plain text updates. So then you got this person here that's telling me, we don't do images. And I'm like, all right, so we're gonna have to change that. So I said that there were two inspirations for my presentation. And the first is, that I talked to you about the first one. The second is, we got Pinterest, we got Instagram, we got Overgram, Yo Mamagram, Infographics, Vine, and YouTube, which I can't even get into. I don't have time to get into Vine and YouTube today. So we're just talking about like still images for right now. So, and then of course we've got Google Glass, who's like, Google, you can always count on Google to like take it up a notch, like blow it up, right? They're talking about augmented reality. I think somebody's doing the Google Glass count, so that was like a Google Glass count. I want my points for that. So we've got Google Glass, who's also bringing in augmented reality, and they're doing stuff that's very visual. So we've really got to take things to the next level. And what I love most about visual content is no matter what they throw at us, they being Google or whoever, so you got panda, you got penguin, and porcupine, poodle, whatever else they want to call it, they're throwing all that stuff at us. And what I still love the most about images, though, is I think I might be crazy, but I'm hoping that what will happen is it will force us to step our game up. It'll force social people to get in the same room with search people and have a real conversation about how to build a brand. And we got to do better than just alt text, and we got to do better than file names and whether it needs to be a JPEG or a PNG. We just got to do better than that. So I showed this presentation to my mom, and she said, "You always told me that if you're going to put together anything for marketing, that I should understand what it means. It should be simple enough for me to get it, and I'm not into marketing this new stuff." She says, "And I don't know what a Swaggerjack is, so you got to explain that to these people." So my mom forced me to put this slide in. And basically, Swaggerjack, how many of you, do I have to explain this to you guys? You guys get it. How many of you guys get that, Swaggerjack? You know what it means. Oh my God, a lot of you don't. Okay, so, so Swaggerjack is like, they use it a lot in entertainment, right? So they'll say, okay, so Nicki Minaj Swaggerjacked Little Kim. It means to like steal somebody's image or steal somebody's mojo or copy them a little bit. It's a slang term, but hey, I'm from New York, right? So, for anybody who's listening, my mom, I get a point with her for putting that slide in. So that's what Swaggerjack is all about, and that's what I'm talking about today. How can you take the mojo that I know, the search mojo that I know happens, traffic and rank, that I know happens when you take an image-heavy approach to your marketing, your online marketing. Before I get into some tactics, I want to talk about why you should be looking at images and why you should even care, right? Because as Cyrus said, it's typically not the solution. We're focusing on text, but we're seeing the images being more and more popular every single day. First thing is people are busy. They are really busy. They are on the go. How many of you, since you have been here, have been on Twitter or Facebook or something and texted a picture to a friend? A lot of you are not admitting it, but okay. Right? So we're busy, but even though we're here and we're hanging out with our friends and we've been to events and we're doing MozCon and somebody's going to like a Boston Red Sox game later or whatever, like even though we're doing all this stuff, we're still sharing pictures with our friends. We're still sharing pictures online. Why? Because they're easy to share. Because our smartphones make it easy for us to share. The other thing is, images shortcut stuff for us, right? So they shortcut us having to say a lot and do a lot. You see an image and you get it. So I'll give you an example, and I am guilty of this, so don't judge me, okay? So I'm standing in Whole Foods, and this woman has got this really inventive outfit on, right? I mean, even for New York, it was like, okay. And so I'm trying to tell my friend, like, wow, this woman's got this interesting outfit on. So I take a picture of her and I send it, and she's like, oh, I see what you mean. So images really allow us to just transcend any kind of limitations in text. And then also, quite frankly, people love images. That's why we all get here and everyone's like, oh, I'm in Seattle, I'm at MozCon, and I'm taking pictures. I've been sharing pictures since I got here. People love images. Stop making it so hard. Just do what people love. Share with them what they already love. Don't make it hard for them. And if you don't want to listen to me, damn it, listen to Barney. Sharing is caring. All right, so now we're going to get into some of the tactics. The three that I really want to focus on today with you guys is Wordless Wednesday type memes. So Wordless Wednesdays are like when you share an image and you don't put any text. Am I going to have to call EMS? No text? You don't put any text at all, and you let people free associate and comment and say what they think about the image in the comment section. So usually it's done on a blog or on a Facebook page or something like that. So we're going to talk about Wordless Wednesday type memes. And I'm going to talk about infographics, and I'm going there. I know some of you might think infographics are tired, but I promise you they offer a little bit of, bless you, a little bit of mojo for you. And quote graphics. So I'm going to show you an example of these, but you've seen them on Facebook. So it's like, live your life and don't let anybody rein you in. You know, don't care what people say about you. All those quote graphics that you see with those backgrounds of butterflies, quote graphics. Well, a lot of people think, well, that's just for moms who blog. They're not mommy bloggers. They don't like to be called mommy bloggers anymore. So a lot of people think that it's just for moms who blog, and it's not. You can leverage them too. So let's dig in. So Wordless Wednesdays, I hope you guys can really see this. So I just went on Google and I did a screen capture of Wordless Wednesday, the search results there, and 7.7 million results. So we're not talking about a term that's not being used online at all. This is clearly a term that's being used online, right? So that's the first red circle that I want to draw your attention to. And I put numbers down the side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And full disclosure, number 3, blog pause, I'm on the board. But even if I wasn't on the board, it would come up in Google because I don't have juice like that. But what I want you to know, look at all the ones that come up. What do you notice? No big brands. Small fry. These are small businesses that are ranking in the top 5 of a search term that has 7.7 million results. You think these guys have tens of thousands of dollars to spend on a search strategy? No, they don't. What are they doing? Images every week. There's a Wednesday in every week. I don't know if you guys knew that. Wednesday, every week, Wordless Wednesdays. They're on it. Right? It doesn't take a huge thing. So here's what we found in our social space. Here's what we found works with those types of memes. So sometimes you can call them Wordless Wednesdays, Throwback Thursdays. One of our clients has Scarlett Says Saturdays, whatever. You get what I'm saying, right? So one of the ways that we found that works with these memes is just do what everybody else is doing, right? So just start participating in Wordless Wednesdays, start doing your own thing, and you can kind of get some mojo going. Or create your own meme, like my client did. She decided she was going to do Scarlett Says Saturdays, whatever works for her. If you want to get in and dig into memes, there's a couple of websites I've got for you there. KnowYourMeme.com is really interesting, because you can look up any kind of visual meme. So you guys know that, and I apologize if I don't say this right. I'm from New York. I'm not really politically correct. So you know the red equal sign that's been going around online for, is it gay marriage or gay rights? It's gay marriage? Gay equality, right? Is that right? Okay, so I'm just going to say gay equality and everybody's going to give me a pass. So I don't want to say the wrong thing. So you can go on KnowYourMeme.com and look that up and see how much mojo it has generated in interest and eyeballs and clicks and all that other good stuff. So it's a really good site, and I've got a couple other sites for you there. But I want to show you also a couple brands that get it right with the visual meme, so you can kind of start to visualize what I'm talking about. So we know this guy, right? Stay thirsty, my friend. Right? This guy's the Dos Equis guy, the beer guy, right? So this is a visual meme. When we don't even, forget the Dos Equis logo. When we see this guy, we know this is the most unforgettable man or the most interesting man in the world. We know this guy because they have been hammering this visual meme at us for months now. Another brand that gets it right, Old Navy with their retro advertising. It's a visual meme. What'd they do? They went and they got some 70s stars that were out of work and would love to get a check. They put them in ads. They put them in Old Navy clothes. They put them in ads. And there you go. visual meme. And everybody's like, oh shit, Mr. T, what's up, dude? Happy to see the guy, right? Second is infographics. And I don't want you guys to sleep on infographics, because infographics have been phenomenal in terms of traffic and shareability and social shares for our clients. It has been unbelievable. The one I'm showing you right now is What Are the Odds? And it is the most popular infographic on Visually, like bar none. So they've got their own count going on, but what I'm focusing on is in that left-hand sidebar, 25,000, or is it 250? 250,000 Facebook likes. That's crazy. 260,000 stumbles. That's crazy town. I would love this. I would love it if I could get something like this going on for my client, this kind of energy going on for my client. It's an image. That's all it is. It's a picture that people are sharing and people are liking. Why? Because people like pictures. Give them what they already like. It's not hard. So here's what we found works with infographics, and you're gonna notice a trend here, right? So one of the things that we do is when we bring on a new client, we'll go and we'll search Pinterest, or we'll go on Google image search, and we will search for all infographics. So interior design infographic. And invariably, thousands of interior design related infographics will come up. And we'll just decide, you know what, we're gonna pick a couple of these and we're gonna share them across the week or whatever. It really helps with our content strategy so we don't have to fill so much content. The content doesn't have to be yours to share it. It doesn't have to be yours to get the attention. And what I love about infographics is most of them at the bottom, they already have the attribution at the bottom. If you've ever seen an infographic, which I'm sure most of us have, at the bottom it tells you who created it and it's got the attribution built right in. You didn't even have to worry about giving attribution unless it's not there, in which case you obviously should. Couple brands that get it right. Oh, and a couple websites there for you guys too, if you want to create your own infographics. So if your clients have data, I know that Will told us this in one of his presentations, get that data up and put it into a graphic form. Have your clients create their own infographics. Have people start sharing their stuff. So a couple brands that get it right with infographics. Warby Parker Eyewear. Say that 10 times fast. What I love about what these guys did with an infographic is they went ahead and they put their annual report in an infographic format. Right? Really cool idea. Who thinks about this stuff? I don't, but who thinks about that? You gotta publish an annual report anyway, and when I did the research for this presentation, I was looking, I was like, wow, this is cool, I'm gonna use this as an example. Apparently they've been doing this for years. There's one for 2011, this one's from 2012. This is like part of what they do at this Warby Parker Eyewear. Again, another small fry. So if you're working with a big brand, you think your big brand can't win at this? Absolutely. Another one is Lena Metrics. They have created, they call it something like the ultimate final end of the world, Armageddon social media sizing chart. You know how many times this thing has been shared by people? You know how much visibility this brand gets because of this one infographic? It's off the chain. People use this guide in their everyday work. I know in social, we use it all the time. Like, wait, what was that? What's the size of that graphic? I forget. Oh, and this infographic is long. It's long. It's got it for Facebook and Twitter, and people use it as a reference. That's when you know it's good. People keep going back to that image and going back to it and going back to it. So the third thing, and I talked about this earlier, is quote graphics, right? So again, not just for moms who blog. You've seen them. Look at this Facebook page. I grabbed this the other day. 280,000 likes for people who share warm and fuzzy quotes every day. It's amazing. They put it in a graphic format, they get a background, they put some text over it, and it's a quote image, and people share it. A lot of people, I don't know if the examples that I've shown you don't have it, but they put their URL at the very bottom in faint text so they get some visibility and some to let people know where the infographic came from. What we found works on Pinterest, and this is a special place, a happy place, that you can put your quote graphics. I don't know what they're officially called, but I call them quote graphics. Use what's already out there. Again, it doesn't have to be your content. It doesn't have to be your saying your quote. What we did for one of our clients recently is we went to, I think it's like quotable.com or a quote website, quotations.com. We did a search for all quotes about home. And a whole bunch of quotes came up. We put them in front of her and we said, which of these do you like? And she picked out a whole bunch of them. We created these really cool quote graphics, and they're blowing up her Facebook page. People love them. They're sharing them. It's got a URL at the bottom, so she's getting visibility for that. You can create your own. There's a couple cool services. We use Pinwords. We like Pinwords. It's really cool, but there's a bunch of other ones. Two things. What I like most about quote images is this, is that if you are working with a big brand, quotes, because they're so personal, they add a level of, they humanize your brand, that big brand. Makes people want to say, oh, well, that's a cool company. I didn't know they felt like that. I didn't know that that's something that they would share. I think that way too. Oh, okay. For a smaller company, it helps you build that know, like, and trust factor. It helps you get people connected to the brand, getting that brand on that target market's radar, and they can say, oh, I have something in common with that small company. I'm going to do business with them because of that, or I'm going to go and download their white paper or whatever it is. A couple brands that get it right. So here's the deal with Pinterest. The deal with Pinterest is this. It is very easy for you to try to go and, especially if you sell products, to go and slap up images of your products. It's very easy for you to go just post images of your products up there. That's not what you want to do on Pinterest. Like, that's the fast track to Loserville. I like what LL Bean has done. So they've got cool motifs around their products, so outdoors and cute animals and all that other stuff. And you may think, well, why would you do that? Why wouldn't you? It's getting visibility. People are sharing images. I think some of these boards on LL Bean are collective boards, so people can add images to them. It's really cool. This I love. When I saw this, I was like, I have got to add this. I've got to show this to you guys. So this is Peugeot Panama. And what I love about what these guys did is, yes, they have a product. Yes, they're selling cars, but look at how they did it. They cut up the cars and they put it into boards, and it's really interesting. It's visually interesting how they did it. Absolutely love this. So there's a couple brands. HGTV, they do very similar thing to LL Bean and also Whole Foods. They do a similar thing where they have topics that kind of are in their industry. They have topics, and they have boards devoted to the different topics that are generally associated with their industry. So for everyone who out there is like, yeah, Lena, this is all great, you and your nice images, but how the hell do we track this crap? There's a website called Curalate that you can use for tracking images. Right now, a lot of it is on Pinterest. Again, this is growing, so give it a minute. They will catch up. So Curalate, Picora, which used to be Pinfluence. Yeah, Pinfluence or Pinfluence. They're another one if you want to take a look at their product. And then, I never know how to pronounce this, Ahology, whatever it is. They're another one. And then obviously, I felt like such a moron for not including the Moz logo here, because you can track as well. When I put this together, I'm like, Lena, dummy. But you can track where that image is coming up in search ranks and rankings, and you can also track how much traffic that image is getting, obviously with Moz Analytics. So the bottom line is, don't be scared, homies. Images, they're your friend. I know, that sounds like a therapy session, right? Images are your friend. And be willing to try these images out, and be willing to test it out, be willing to fail. Start adding images to strategies, marketing strategies that you're building for your clients. Start adding these images in and see what happens. You don't have to go crazy with alt text. You don't have to go bananas with the alt text and figuring out whether it's going to be a JPEG or a PNG or what the file name should be if you're totally pimping out your images and your graphics in your marketing strategy. You don't have to go crazy with all that stuff because people like images. Give them what they already like. If they are automatically sharing images because everyone's got a smartphone, give them more, right? Give them more of what they're already using. So that's it. That's my time. Thank you very much. If you guys have questions for me, I'm here. I don't know. Cyrus?
Thank you, Lena. So watching this, I was sort of reminded of what Avinash was talking about his see, think, do.
Right.
And it seems like the images are very appropriate for the see part of the experience, for the branding and the visibility. Is that your experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think with images, it's a hook.
And a lot of people dismiss it because it's not at the conversion end of the cycle.
You'd be surprised where it is.
Really?
I mean, yeah, because there's so many cool things that you can do with analytics, and you'd be surprised how you can tie it back, for sure.
Final question.
Yep.
What do you think images are a good medium for Google+?
Oh boy, I'm gonna get in trouble with the Google people. The Google. You know what? Yeah, damn it.
Yeah, because
Yeah, damn it.
I was talking with some other folks.
I don't think they're there yet, though. I don't think they're there yet. But you know what? I believe you got to step out and try it.
I was having the same conversation. Your statistic about Facebook images get 50% more thumbs up.
It's crazy.
And we've noticed that images, instead of just posting the link on Google+, if you post the entire images, it seems to get much more engagement on those.
Abso-friggin-lutely. People are visual by nature.
Yeah. Right. Thank you, Lena.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.